Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ultimate Alliance, specifically Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You may have already noticed that I am in the middle of Asgard with all of these crazy costumes and crazy people, and to anybody who has played this game before will immediately notice that I have likely already beaten the game, or I've at least beaten this area. And for those with the eagle eye, that would be entirely true. I have beaten this game 3 times now, because I have played it 3 separate times. uh, and when I say played it 3 separate times, I mean through the campaign. I have, in truth, replayed levels and stuff on so many different occasions that probably it would be in the 20 or 30 range, because I love to go through and play with different heroes, and I love to go through with different teams and costumes and powers. And it's just a really fun time. As you can see right now, I'm using the Think Tank team, which is Mr. Fantastic, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange. This time, not as interesting as I thought it would be, but it's still really fun. But that's not what we're talking about. We're here to talk about why these games are good and why these games are bad. And this is going to be a 2-part video. Oh, well, hey, that's cool. This is going to be a 2-part video. The first part is going to consist of why I like this game. And the second part is going to consist of why I don't. So, to begin with the pros, hold on, let me go to the change team section. For clarification, when I was younger, I think 9 to be exact, it was right after my dad died. We were struggling financially, and my mom ended up getting the help of a youth group to help, like, not remodel our house, but kind of like fix a lot of the things that were wrong with our house. And one of the kids there, I was 9, he was probably like 15, 16. Noticed that I really loved playing. I don't know why I'm moving around. Spider-Man's right there. Noticed that I absolutely loved playing Spider-Man 2, the movie game. I mean, who wouldn't love playing that game? It's amazing. But that's aside from the point. He noticed that I love video games, specifically Marvel video games, and he was like, I'm going to spend time with this kid, which is always a really fun time because I was 9 and any form of mature friendship was amazing. But a couple of days before my birthday, he and the group decided that they were going to do something for me. And I'm not going to go into all the details of that because this is going to be a relatively short video in comparison to, like, you know, my streams or something. But they ended up throwing me a birthday party, and one of the gifts that I got was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And I remember looking at it and going, huh, who are all these superheroes that I've never heard of? I mean, I was young enough to know who the Fantastic Four and the X-Men were, or young enough, old enough, you know what I mean. But I'd never heard of the likes of Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. Well, Moon Knight wasn't in the game because it was on the PS2. I should clarify, there are 3 different versions of this game. There is the PS2 version, which has pretty much everyone except for the X-Men, Moon Knight, the Hulk, Hawkeye, Cyclops, Nightcrawler. Yeah, pretty much and Venom, yeah. Pretty much everyone in here is there. This is the PS3 version, technically, even though I'm also playing on the PS4, so, you know. And then the PlayStation Portable version allowed you to play as Black Widow, Ronan, possibly also Hawkeye, even though I think they're the same person. It was very strange. You could play as another person, but I don't remember who he or she was. Anyway, that's not the important part. I remember playing this game and being, oh my gosh, I'm able to play as my favorite, like, 4-person team, the Fantastic Four. And then I started experimenting with Daredevil, and then I unlocked the cheat codes to get Silver Surfer. you know, and I was able to play all these various different games, or different, you know what, no, I am going to say different games, because for a 9-year-old, being able to switch the abilities of your characters is already paramount to having a completely different experience. Um, but needless to say, I had a blast. And then I discovered that you could change outfits. Like, you could change into the symbiote suit, Scarlet Spider suit, Stark armor. You know, I actually don't know if I ever unlocked that one when I was a kid. That's not important, though. What is important is that all of this would not have been possible were it not for the fact that, like, were it not for the fact that this kid decided it would be a good idea to, like, brighten my day. You know what I mean? And I'm not the kind of person that likes these top-down, like, beat-em-ups. I don't know if that would necessarily be what you call it, but, like, the type of game that Ultimate Alliance is not the kind of game that I like to play. I like to play games like Rainbow Six Siege, or, you know, Spider-Man 2, or the new Spider-Man. You know, I don't typically like the top-down because I like being able to see my characters, you know what I mean? But when I say that I loved this game, I absolutely love this game. In fact, I would say that this game is the reason that I enjoy. I would say that this game is the reason that I enjoy the MCU so much, because I'm able to look at, like, Iron Man and the Hulk, Thor, Captain America, and be like, wow, they're so different in the movies than they are here. And that's where things kind of get really interesting. Ultimate Alliance is based off of the comics, for the most part. It does have I think it has an original story, but, like, all of the characters, for the most part, are based off of their comic counterparts, which is why Miss Marvel here is Miss Marvel and not Captain Marvel, because Miss Marvel started out as Miss Marvel. I think that's changed in the third one, and I'm definitely going to make a video about the third and the second one once I get the third one. I've got the second one, and I'll definitely make a video about that one later, but the thing about this game is it just offers so much variety. And the fact that you're able to go and do all these things... I mean, for instance, that. You know, and they got all of the characters pretty much spot on. You know, in the comics, Spider-Man has pretty much the same, let's be honest. Iron Man is still very much like, you know, Iron Man is very much the whole, snarky but entitled to be snarky self. Doctor Strange is a lot more serious, and Reed Richards is may as well be, you know, fucking drywall. But the point of the matter, the fact of the matter is you're able to do all these things. You know, if they made a Fantastic Four game, which by the way they did, based off of the movies, it would not have been as successful as this, because in the Fantastic Four game, a team up like this is impossible. Just like, you know, if you're playing, you know, Batman Arkham Asylum, or the new Spider-Man, you're not able to team up with people like you are in this one. Heck, even in the new Avengers game that just came out, like, what, last Friday? Even in the new Avengers game, you can't have team-ups like you can in this game. So what makes this game so special? Well, the development team behind it surely had a love for this game, or for the source material, I mean. Clearly not very good at patching out whatever Invisible Asgardian Man is. And I should say that while my bias for this game and the nostalgia is definitely going to affect, like, how I say and do things, I will not refrain from bashing this game when I need to. Just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, you know, this game is by no means perfect, but the nostalgia, the fact that you're able to go out and do all this stuff, is really fun. And I mean, just to fuck around, let's go over here and do, uh, you know what? I am going to play as Doctor Strange. Let's just go in here and see. This is a really goofy thing. Let's just jump down some cliffs. But the art's good. You can collect comics. It's just a really good game. And I think one of the reasons that that is because, again, you can do all sorts of things. So I haven't messed with any of these. Hold on. And I should just go ahead and say, it's very quirky. Like, it's very, like, 90s, 90s superhero villain kind of thing, where it's like, I'm here to destroy the world just because I can. There's no importance to the plot, but as a child, this was the best thing ever. So I'm going to skip all this because it's not important. But I've now mind-controlled these people. There are certain heroes in this game that can't do that. It doesn't matter because I mind-controlled them all by accident. But you can take their weapons from them. And beat the shit out of people. You can do stuff like that. You can fly. If you're Spider-Man, you can web swing. You can do all these different combos. My point is, it's very fun. And does the gameplay get older after a while? Yes, of course. Is the story lacking? Definitely. But I think the important thing about this game is that it embraced the source material, and it embraced the most important concept of games, and that would be fun. Again, if you take one team and run through the entire game with that one team, you're going to absolutely hate the game, because even though you're, changing costumes, changing abilities, you're still only using a very small percentage of the entire roster. You know what I mean? The gear you collect, the enemies you fight, some of the enemies have unique dialogue. For instance, I'm pretty sure that if you're playing with Thor in your team and you meet up with Loki later in this game, they have an interesting conversation. Same thing with Mysterio and Spider-Man. At the beginning of the game, all sorts of different things occur, and if you only have the 4 heroes that you play as, let's just say you start out with the group that you start out with, which I think is Captain America, Thor, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, which is a very odd choice. Maybe they probably did that to showcase how varied the experience was, but like, needless to say, if you only stick with them, you're not even getting the full experience. So, I won't stay on for much longer, because I think I'm about to run out of time. But I think the important thing about this game is that it embraces fun over the story. Because the story, when it comes down to this kind of game, the story does not matter, especially for a 9-year-old boy who has run out of friends, fun, and things to do. This game, I won't go as far to say as I wouldn't be here now if it weren't for this game, but I think I would be a much different person without this game. Some of my friendships were built upon this game. Some of my interest in superheroes and other things were based on this game. This game did a lot for me when I was young and going through a rough time. So, it, needless to say, holds a good place in my heart. And I know this is kind of off script. Not that I ever had a script in the first place. This is my first ever YouTube video, people. Probably I'm going to have a third part where I discuss... Probably I'm going to move everything back. So this is kind of like getting my nostalgia and my bias out of the way. Because, yeah, I'll be the first to say, I love this game simply because of what it did for me when I was younger. Anyway, I ran out of time, so I'm gonna keep going. But you know, I'm going to make sure that I do in the next video a I'm going to make sure that I engage in like the actual pros of this game, because I went over a little bit of it, you know, the different heroes, all that stuff, but I also kind of shat on the game a bit as well. So this is just nostalgia. Uh, like I said, uh, I enjoy these things a lot, and I would definitely like to know your opinions on the game as well. Expect the next video next week, probably around the same time, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, I really enjoy these games, and I can't be the only one who, as a kid, was like, this is the shit. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Tune in for next week, and make sure to follow twitch.tv/WyattDude11 for more crazy and up-to-date content. Thank you, and bye-bye.